Um, Hi everyone, my name is Randy Ananta, and my friend Hijra Hanif will explaining conduct procurement process, the tools and technique, practice differences. Um, First of all, the conduct procurement process is a process that focusing on obtaining seller responses, selecting seller, and awarding a contract. The expected result from this process are established agreement, including formal contracts. So here we go. The tools and technique that are available. The first three is expert judgment, advertising, and bidder conference. So expert judgment is a interviewing expert for specific question and information you want to conduct. The expert should have specialized knowledge that relate to procurement process. It can be individual or groups. The pros you will get if you're using the expert judgment technique, if it's really quick, if the expert is experienced and knowledgeable, but the drawbacks is it may not work in some cases because it's subjective. Next is advertising. The pros is you educate consumers. The consumers will have any knowledge about the product well, and then the higher quality product, service or result because it involving the consumers. But the drawbacks or the cons is so costly because you advertising in media, mainstream media will be so costly. And next is bidder conference that are meeting between the buyer and prospective sellers prior to proposal submittal. They are used to ensure that all prospective bidders have a clear and common understanding of the procurement and no bidders receive preferential treatment. So the pro is vendor can preparing for bids or request for proposals. This means vendor or sellers they can prepare well for the proposals, so the result may more accurate, and then it will sure about vendor clarityness of the procurement aspect. But the cons is it will take so long time that will impossible to reply all the question asked from vendor or seller. So the next tools and technique will be explained by my friend Hijra Hanif.
Hello everyone, I'm Hijrahani from Empathy Klaski. My friends Randy and I will explain to you about the differences, tools, and technique practice for conduct procurement. My friends Randy already explained to you what is a conduct procurement and some tools and techniques, and we will compare about pros and cons for each tools and techniques. And I will continue. The next is data analysis. Data analysis tools and techniques. They're evaluating the proposals to ensure that they are complete and responding full to the bid documents, procure statement of work, source selection criteria, and any other document that went out in the bid package. And first for of these tools and technique, the first is my provide the research that can be usable for organization knowledge. Second, it can be also objective if the proposal that have been submitted by the vendor and have any standard and criteria. And cons from these tools is you will have to wait through lots of irrelevant information to get something usable. And the last tools and technique is interpersonal and team skill. Interpersonal and team skills that can be used for this process include negotiation. Negotiation is a discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. Procurement negotiation clarifies the structure, rights, and obligations of the parties and other terms of the purchases, so that a mutual agreement can be reached prior to signing the contract. And the pros from the tools is clear term and condition before signing a contract. And the cons, it might not work in some cases. I think that's all from us about the differences, tools, and technique for conduct procurement. Thank you. Bye bye.